I never lied where I came from. Texas had its place for me to find a home deep in my soul. I must know the world as a whole.
My name is Alex Winters, and this is Black Roses. I see your reflection in the still water. Why have you come back to haunt me here and now? Clutching my chest as the pain returns. The memory of you like salt on an open wound. Black roses, why do you prick me with your crown? My spirit lying broken upon the hallowed ground. Black roses, why do you crown me with your thorns? I have nothing left to give. I cannot give you anymore. Tears, my eyes are dry. There is nothing left for you, my dear. See, I bled myself for you inside my panic room. The crimson of my love spilled on the floor like wine. Spirit lying broken upon the hallowed ground. Black roses, why do you crown me with your thorns? I have nothing left to give. I cannot give you anymore. You promised me forever, but forever came too soon. You set my heart on fire and left it to burn. But I pulled my heart from the embers, a woman scorned. Black roses, why do you prick me with your crown? My spirit lying broken upon the hallowed ground. Black roses, why do you crown me with your thorns? I have nothing left to give. Cannot give you anymore. No more. No more. No more.
I'm Carol Coburn, and this is Creative's Cornerstone. This week, we are recording episode 32, and we are featuring Alex Winters. Welcome to the Studio One, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. In fact, I just found out that you are a frequent flyer in Studio One.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that during your set. Alex, it has been what feels like forever since I've seen you. You have lived an entire lifetime since the last time I've seen you. You've packed in so many life experiences. I can't wait to
Yeah.
hear all about it. And you've grown so much in the music scene as far as behind the scenes. You're doing so much more. I recently had Dan Guevara on the
Oh,
show,
yeah.
and we talked about you for a little bit and the fact that you have helped him with his EPs that he's got out, his music that he's been
the
doing.
last record, the record that he just released last October, I produced and recorded the whole thing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, just talk about growth in your field of creation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild. Alex is responsible for my number one favorite song that I really play a lot. And I'm really hoping that you're going to be playing it today. And you know what song
I
that
do.
is. Yeah, Black Roses. Y'all, Alex has got such a fabulous rocker vibe. And I don't know if you could tell that by her hair. Which, by the way the camera's positioned, it's great that you just
good.
had
You
your
can
hair
see,
done
You can see all
because it looks good. And it's just such a great sound. And then I got to see you at Dripping Springs Songwriters Festival.
that was the last one that I did.
That was fun to see you out there with everybody. That's like homecoming. That's like a reunion
It is
every year. I just love. And it's also very hard when there are regulars that don't come in a particular year because, you know, they're coming from other lands or other states. And so anyway, so it's a fun time.
Well, they've got to rotate their talent out too, so it's not the same people every year.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I've only done it like 4 or 5 years, so you know,
Yeah, whatever.
I feel privileged to have been chosen so many times.
I enjoy when I get to see Chris Moyce and Rachel Lavin, and Abe Partridge is just all over the globe now. So I don't think he has time to come in to Dripping Springs in October to do the music festival because he is busy all over the world. But yeah, it's like a homecoming week. Awesome.
Yeah. For
all right.
artists
So
too, yeah.
Let's talk about all the things that you've been doing. And I want to know, because you have gone off back behind the scenes and cultivated your skills, did that start with the dark years? Did that start during COVID?
Yeah, and really, I blame Dan. When everything shut down, I'm full-time musician, so when everything shut down, my whole life shut down, and my partner was still going to work every day, but I'm at the house. I had nothing to do, and so I thought, well, why don't I take some classes and learn some skills, some production skills, maybe improve my songwriting skills. And I took like 3 classes, and I don't know if you know this, but Dan and I met because I was running a songwriter group in Georgetown I've been running it for like 11 years.
Wow.
Somebody else is running it now because of the life things that we'll probably talk about later. But anyways, we were still trying to meet, over Zoom and however we could.
Sure.
And, but I was bringing the songs to the meetings that I was doing for these classes. And Dan comes up to me, and we were in person, so it must have been, like post shutdown, but right after, he comes up to me and he's like, "Man, I really love all the stuff that you've been sharing with us from your classes. Do you think you'd want to produce a song for me?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about doing it for other people.
Sure.
I was just doing it for me to level up while we weren't doing anything else." And so I said, sure. And so he was the first artist that I produced. And then I've done, I don't even know how many songs now. And then we just finished his it's a full album in October. And we're starting the next round of singles for him next month.
That is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you were going strong, you were doing things, you were all over it, and then you left.
Yeah.
You moved. You just changed places. Suddenly, it felt like, I'm sure it wasn't sudden for you.
No, it was kind of sudden for us too. My partner works in the car business, and she got an opportunity that we couldn't pass up. And so the great thing about music production is I can do that from anywhere.
Sure.
And I can do the singer-songwriter thing from anywhere too.
Mhm.
And so we got this opportunity, and we had to go try it out and see if it was going to be good or not.
Well, I love the way you supported each other in that, because she is your biggest supporter and I'm assuming manager. I mean, she really is on top of things for you.
She certainly knows how to manage me.
And I love the fact that when the opportunity opened up for her, I mean, I personally hated it because I love being able to go out and see you and hear you and know that you're here, you know?
Yeah.
So, but the fact that you said, okay, you know what, now it's your turn, you know, I'm going to do this for you.
100%.
And I just love that, you know,
well, she
was reciprocated.
Yeah. She took the reins when we wrote it. I remember writing it on a sticky note. We had this conversation, full-time musician, 5 years. And so she positioned herself to where she could manage the bills on her income, and then that gave me time to grow into my income as a musician. And so, when that opportunity came up, I didn't even hesitate. Of course, it's your turn.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just how a partnership works. It has to go both ways.
And now I understand you're back.
Yes.
Which was mind-blowing for me, because I didn't know you were back. And then here you are. So I take it things kind of just shifted back this direction.
Yeah, they ended up going a different direction with their management team, and it didn't end up being the opportunity that we had hoped it was. So
it's great that you had a fallback plan.
Yeah, luckily we hadn't sold our house or anything yet,
right.
Although we were starting to work towards that. But the businesses can be fickle sometimes, so you never know what the opportunity is really going to be until you get into it. So
especially right now,
yeah,
especially in this environment. And so I heard you whisper about studio. Are you ready to talk about that?
Sure.
I would love to hear about this. So now that you're back and you're here on the scene, I know that you are involved on Mondays here in the studio. Mm-hmm. I was going to give Alex a tour of the space, and she said, "Oh, I am very familiar with it." So she actually runs cameras for what show?
For Up Late Austin.
There we go. Monday
nights. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that's fun. So I know that you're following that passion in creation.
Yeah, my friend Alan he knows that. So I did photography for a bunch of years, mm-hmm. and doing photography and music, I had to pick one, and of course music won, but so he knows that I'm familiar with the camera and mm-hmm. How to frame up shots and stuff like that, and he was like, "You want to come and check it out?" And so he kind of roped me into it's Monday night. I don't have anything going on Monday night. So
very nice. Well, I did, Alan did try talking her into Sunday mornings, but apparently she has too much going on Sunday mornings. So you've got her for a while, but I'm not going to stop trying. So I know you're doing this. What else are you doing since you're back? I'm going to say, dare I say home, since you're back home?
Yeah, absolutely home. And it was funny. This isn't the question that you asked, but I go back to when I first started telling people that I was back. It seemed like everybody was as relieved as we were to just be, like you said, back home. I mean, this is where all our people are. We've been in our house for over a decade. So
this is home.
It was kind of just like sinking back into like a warm bath, just like, okay, I know what happens here. It's very comfortable. So, honestly, moving, and because I was in the middle of producing Dan's record and a bunch of singles. Because it really happened really quick. Like we made the decision within, like we got the offer and was moving in 2 weeks. It was really fast. And so I was actually living in 2 places up until the release show for Unexpected Trespasses last February.
Right.
And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. And I was homeless for 2 years. So it was so hard being apart like that and trying to manage 2 houses and trying to manage my time and still make progress on the projects that I was working on. And we ended up trying to build a studio over there, at least so that I could mix in, and that worked sort of. And then as we ramped up to the beginning of the year and the release show started, coming into the forefront, I had to kind of put the brakes on all of that and switch focus. And
a lot going on.
My anxiety just went through the roof at that point, and I started having some mental health issues around that. And did the theater show at the Georgetown Palace, and it was awesome. Everything came together really well. The band was great. The staff were awesome, and I was really proud.
And the venue was just
that was like a bucket list item for me, was to do my own theater show, and so I got to do that. And then February 29th came and left, and I packed up my stuff, and then we were in Midland for, I think, until the end of summer-ish. And then when we realized, like, hey, this isn't really working out, then we packed up and came home. And I've been kind of slow to reintegrate myself into things. I haven't been performing much at all, just maybe 1 or 2 gigs. And I've really just been focusing on getting the house back in order and taking care of myself. And
transitions, life transitions are a little bit harder the older we get.
They are.
Especially when you have a focus and your passion and you're following that, and then you shift things. That's the transition isn't as easy the older you get.
Right. Well, and also in the music business, like especially with performance, like when your main income is live performance, like your life is booked 6 months out.
Sure.
Or more, if you're lucky, And so it took a good 6 months before all of my commitments really fell off the calendar. And then I had nothing when I came back here. I had nothing.
To start again.
And so then it's like starting all over again. And I'm like, I don't really know that I'm ready to dive back into that whole thing just yet.
The beauty in you coming back home and into a more familiar place is that the people remember you, and you still have your followers and your listeners and your audience.
Yeah, I still have my network
waiting
too,
for you to show up.
Yeah,
so that they can then, be there for you too. Because that's the difference, right? I mean, you go to somewhere you're not familiar with, and you have to start all over again, and getting yourself out there and people in that area. But you've come home now. And it's a nice little nest.
It is.
And it's a nice niche. And the music community in Austin is simply the best with support.
Yeah.
So welcome home.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about your music production.
Yeah.
And studio space and time. Are you creating a studio in this space now? Whereas before you didn't really have that space here. You were just getting into it, correct? Please correct me.
I had a little like recording space set up so that I could compose songs at home.
Right.
On the computer, but it was all demo level stuff. I wasn't trying to do anything, make anything radio ready or anything. But after, I guess it was 2021, I super into the rabbit hole,
You
the producer
geeked out
rabbit hole.
with, yeah.
And anybody who has ADHD can understand the hyper focus. And I went all in. And so I actually saved up and completely renovated one of the rooms in our house, sound treated it.
Super awesome.
So it's a bedroom studio, but at the same time, I am getting professional level recordings in there. I don't have the ability to like record a full drum kit in the room, but if we need to do that, I do have a setup down in the garage. So
very nice.
But most of the time we can do, most of the drummers that I work with can do drums at home where, you can always program drums and replace it later.
The beauty of creatives is you find a way to thrive. You feel things more intense, I believe, when you're a creative. And I realize everybody has something in them. Everybody has a gift, a skill, something, an enjoyment, a passion. But with the creative genre of people, with the creative folks, you feel things. That's what you write about. That's the music that you make. That's the words that you put out there. Feelings and life observations, and you look under the rocks and around the corners, and you look in the dark spaces, and you shine the light in those dark spaces, and then you write about it. You tell the stories, whether it's through pictures, whether it's through written word, whether it's through your music. And when the dark years hit, there was some time there where everybody went through this shock and awe of, oh my gosh, what now? What's next? But the beauty in the creatives is that you will find a way to thrive and do what you're meant to do. And if you don't, it's devastation. It's like a blocked artery. It's like a clogged drain. It's, you have to be able to produce. But I'm always reminded of, there was a line in Jurassic Park, in the original one with Jeff Goldblum, where he said that life finds a way to create itself and, or to continue. And that's how I feel about the creatives. Yeah. You will find a way. And so during those dark years, the beauty that came out of that, from under the rocks and around the corner, of people investing in themselves to learn more, 100%. To even if it was something as minor as learning how to stream a show, because that was new to a lot of people.
We did like 33 live streams during the shutdown, and that was like my only outlet at that point.
And getting the sound right, and getting getting everything right.
It is a learning curve.
It was a huge learning curve, and everybody was doing it, but it didn't stop anyone. I even remember doing a Dripping Springs Songwriters Music Festival reunion on Zoom. I think I had I can't remember how many of y'all I had on the screen, but it was just to be able to be together and to see each other and produce and do music. And I got to tell you, some of those spots were kind of shaky sound-wise.
Yeah, Zoom really had to figure their shit out, right?
I think Zoom is still trying to figure their shit out.
They all of a sudden they were getting hit hard. They're like, whoa, we need to do something.
But it was as devastating as it was, and as awful as it was, there was a lot of beauty that came out of it in the creative field.
Well, I think everybody, I talked to a lot of people, even people who weren't musicians, we all had to sit with ourselves and our thoughts, because we had nothing else to do. And that really makes you look deep. Yeah. And I know a lot of people who discovered things about themselves they didn't even know was there.
And a lot of people discovered therapy.
Yes. and pharmaceuticals.
and a lot of people made changes as far as significant others and living arrangements because, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So, and where others grew apart, others grew together and found ways to make it happen and make it work and keep it going. So there was a lot of beauty that came out of it and just so much. So I always ask the artists when they come on the show what they did during the dark years, what came out of that for them, what self-discovery or what new talent or what skill did they focus on? What did they produce during that time? Some singer-songwriters, it's just they wrote some new music.
Yeah.
And others, it was a lot of self-reflection and a lot of life changes and a lot of enhanced skill sets.
Yeah, one of the things that we were doing, I was asking on, I think it was social media, or maybe it was YouTube. I don't know. I was asking for song requests, and people would submit songs, and we would try to hurry up and learn them and perform them on the show without having performed them before.
I kind of remember that.
And I know I've talked on your show about my stage fright before. That's like performing a song for the first time for me is really nerve-wracking. And so it really kind of pushed me to get out of that comfort zone and just
push boundaries,
push through it and do it and just do it. And I mean,
I think a lot of us learned that there's so much unknown and, everybody has something that they're dealing with. Everybody has something.
Yeah.
And I think that COVID brought about the realization that there are some things, number one, you can't wait to do. You just can't wait to do it. What's the point of waiting to do it? The time is never going to be just right.
Right.
There's never a just right time. And the moment is now. I remember having a guest. His name was Brandon Davis. He's still Brandon Davis, and he's still out there thriving, and he's doing amazing things. But he had been, a fire alarm engineer. He engineered fire alarms for a living. And then he was in a horrific head-on collision.
Oh, geez.
That put him in the hospital for weeks. And his new wife said, "What do you want to be? What do you want to do?" Facing life like that and almost losing life, there's a survivor thing that happens. And it's, what do you want to do? And he said, "I've always wanted to sing." And she said, "Then what are you waiting for? Let's do it." And this all happened at the start of COVID, during COVID. And throughout the COVID time when people weren't getting out and you couldn't go out and do things, him and his wife created this hilarious, amazing marketing on social media. And within a year, he was touring with Tim McGraw.
That's amazing.
It was things like that came out of, facing COVID and the possibilities and the destruction and the tear down of everything that we knew for real was no more.
Yeah.
So transitions are hard. Tell everybody here where they can find out more about you. When you're ready to be out there and in front of the lights, I know you have an amazing website. I know you have information there. Where is that for our viewers?
So the website address is alexwintersmusic.com.
Very good.
I don't have any of the production information on there, but there is a contact page. So if anybody wants to talk to me about producing a song, they can just email me there or message me on social media.
Sure.
Everything that I'm doing there so far has been word of mouth. So,
and that's, and that says a lot. That Alex is really known in this area, and we're just really glad to have you back. And I can't wait to watch you grab the reins again and just pull it out there. I love the fact that you're working in the studio. This studio in particular, Austin Public Access has a few different studios. We've got a podcast studio, Studio 3. We have a smaller studio, Studio 2. And then we have this that I call iconic, Studio 1, that has had so much produced within its walls and in this space. And I love the fact that you are involved with the show, like Up Late, and doing that, because, you know, don't you find when you walk into this space, it's like a sandbox. I mean, you can't be sure of what's going to happen here,
right?
But you know it's going to be good.
Well, it's a live taping, right? So anything you do is that's what it is, and you know
that's the beauty of live, though. I mean, we just started this show. It'll be a year in June, and it's been a learning curve. And if y'all go to our website, creativescornerstone.com, you can see all the episodes are there, and they're linked to our YouTube channel. I don't necessarily encourage you to go back to the early days. And we are inviting those guests back to redo some shows now that we've got our shit together and we are doing better things. But yeah, it's been a process, and yeah.
It's really fun. It's fun for me, it's something different, which is good for me, to be always learning and doing different things. Like, I don't just create music. I create all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
I just love to make things. And so to be a part of something like this is awesome.
It really is. It's just a beautiful thing, you know?
And I get to meet new musicians and see new bands that I wouldn't otherwise get to. So that's really cool.
Well, when I was making the change from radio to in front of the camera versus in front of the mic, I had a friend, Nathan Oliveras. He passed a year and 3 months ago. And he was on Dave Pruitt's show, Capsize, out of the studio. And I thought about him. And of course, there was a lot of thoughts about him because he had just passed. And Dave. And that's what inspired me to come into this space and create and learn all the things and do these things. And folks, I want you to know we really appreciate you hanging with us and growing with us. And I promise you, even better and better things are happening. We've got so many wonderful people planned for you. Before all that happens, though, you're going to get some more of Alex Winters behind the mic. We'll see you in a few. Alex.
Oh, hey, Carol.
Hey, how's it going? I'm so excited you're here.
Yeah, it's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I try to catch people in the makeup room so I can ask them those hard-hitting questions. But I have to tell you, as I'm walking by, I am looking at that hair and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love how bold that is. Tell me about your hair.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually just got it done this week by a new gal up in Gerald, Heaven and Hair is the name of the salon. Her name's Nikki. And I went in there. I'd been growing it out for like a year, because I've had the undercut for a while.
Do a slow spin. I want to see the back while you're talking, because that is fabulous. Look at that. Yeah.
So
that's such a bold cut. How did you decide to do that?
Actually, it was mostly Nikki. I knew I wanted to do the undercut again and get it touched up. And I always loved the platinum blonde look. And so we exchanged photos back and forth. And she came up with this idea to do pink underneath and blonde on the top. And so I just let her go for it. And it turned out really awesome.
It is beautiful. Well, we are going to see you in just a few minutes behind the mic, and you're going to be jamming for us.
Yeah.
Awesome. See you there.
Thank you.
One of the things that COVID did for all of us was put things right in our face that maybe we could have otherwise avoided. And that's kind of what the album Unexpected Trespasses is about. It's about that, maybe those feelings you didn't want to feel, and how they just kind of show up and you have to deal with them. And this is, I don't want to. My heart is so heavy, my head is caving in from all of these thoughts I've been thinking. I don't wanna feel these feelings I feel, but I've fallen under your spell. Don't know if I can help myself. Well, I don't wanna know if you feel the same, 'cause if we say it out loud, then everything will change. I fear that I'm falling in love with you. Oh, but my name on your lips is a poisonous kiss. It's true. Well, I don't wanna know if you feel the same, 'cause if we say it out loud, then everything will change. I don't want to, but I'm drowning in you. I don't wanna need you, but God help me, I do. I know, yes I know, I should leave it alone, but you're so hard to resist when you're begging me, please don't go. Oh, you're so hard to resist, baby, please don't go. Well, I don't wanna know if you feel the same, 'cause if we say it out loud, then everything will change. This song is called Leave Me Alone. I see you're calling me again, but I don't feel much like talking. It feels too damn good to hear you say my name. Every time I reach for you, you're not there, you're not there, you're not there. But every time you reach for me, I'm right here, right here, right here. I tried to let you go. Why can't I let you go? Just leave me alone. Why won't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone. I see you holding her in your arms, but you're wishing it was me. You don't wanna let her go, but you won't set me free. Every time I reach for you, you're not there, you're not there, you're not there. But every time you reach for me, I'm right here, right here, right here. I tried to let you go. Why can't I let you go? Just leave me alone. Why won't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. You're not there, you're not there, you're not there. I tried to let you go. Why can't I let you go? Just leave me alone. Why won't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone. Ooh, leave me alone. Ooh, I try to let you go. Why can't I let you go? Just leave me alone. Why won't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone. The song is called I Should Know Better. Waking up from dreams of you, take me to places I never knew existed. Scenarios looping inside my head. I wanna tell you, but I'm too afraid. What would it be like if our lips did touch? Slowly dying from this need, it's all just a little too much. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. Consumed by thoughts I cannot break. No matter what I do, I cannot satiate. Wanna hear you whisper in my ear, singing me a song only I can hear. What would it be like if our lips did touch? Slowly dying from this need, it's all just a little too much. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. Another sleepless night, another wasted day, another heartache. Can't escape this pain. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. I should know better, but I can't help myself. You're under my skin and I don't wanna break this spell. once in a while, somebody comes into our life exactly when we need them to. This song is about that. This is called You Rescued Me. I was adrift for endless days in my lifeboat at the mercy of the sea, tossed around like an empty shell. I was desperate for a change after what seemed like an eternity. I washed up on your shore. You lifted me up and you brushed the sand off. You picked me up and you took me home. You rescued me, yeah. You rescued me, yeah. In my darkest hour, you're the only light I'll ever need. You rescued me. You rescued me. In the safety of your arms, I finally felt like I was on the mend. You lifted me up and you gave me all of your love. Without you, where would I be? You rescued me, yeah. You rescued me. My darkest hour, you're the only light I'll ever need. You rescued me. You rescued me. You lift me up, you fill me up, you give me all of your love. You lift me up, you fill me up, you give me all of your love. You rescued me, you rescued me, the darkness. You're the only light I'll ever need. You rescued me, you rescued me, I was adrift for endless days. I was desperate for a change. So this was a song where I had a prompt that was use a car reference in the song, and so I had my car reference verse written out, and then I kind of got stuck, and my partner and I were sitting around, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And she's like, well, what would Melissa Etheridge do? And so this is what came out of that. This is I'm on Fire. I awaken in the night, cold sweat
heavy on my mind, desire out of hand. While you're tangled up in her, there's only one thing I can do. It's such a pretty fantasy, baby. Ooh, if you only knew. 'Cause baby, I'm on fire. I'm on fire for you. I'm on fire. She's never gonna love you like I do. I'm on fire for you. From the moment we first met, I felt that little spark. You put your hand on my ignition, baby. Now pour your gasoline on my heart. 'Cause baby, I'm on fire. I'm on fire for you. I'm on fire. She's never gonna love you like I do. I'm on fire for you. Now I know you'll never leave her forbidden fruit. It'll be a little secret, darling, just between us two. 'Cause baby, I'm on fire. I'm on fire for you. I'm on fire. She's never gonna love you like I do. 'Cause baby, I'm on fire. I'm on fire for you. I'm on fire. She's never gonna love. She's never gonna love you like I do. Baby, like I do. Baby, like I do. Baby, like I do.
The song is called More Than Friends. It's about people who don't know their value in a relationship, and I think a lot of people really struggle with that.
I've been watching you for a while. You don't seem to notice me at all. She's been dragging you around like a dog on a leash. I can tell by the way she treats you. She doesn't know what she has. I know I could treat you better if you would give me just one chance. I would do anything, anything, anything to make you see you're so much better than, better than, better than the scraps she feeds. Am I holding on too tight to something that can never be? I know she knows, watching her, watching me. I would do anything, anything, anything to make you see you're so much better than, better than, better than the scraps she feeds. Well, maybe in another life, another life, another life. Well, maybe if the stars align, stars align, stars align, maybe we could be more than friends. I've been watching you for a while. You don't seem to notice me at all.
Where they can keep up with all your happenings that you have got going on behind the scenes here.
Absolutely. You can check everything out at alexwintersmusic.com.
You can get to our YouTube channel by going to our website. Till next time, bye.
We hope your new realtor plays drums in a band. We hope your new dentist is its front man. We hope live music always makes you proud. Just don't call the cops if you think it's too loud. South by South by South by Southwest. We hope you'll like it so much you'll move here just like the rest of us non-native Texans.